Good morning. All right. How'd y'all think about hands-on projects for chapter 2?
They were cool.
When they worked, they were cool. Basically, all you have with thumb screw is it puts a right blocker on your USB. Most USBs already have that already on them so that you can lock them to prevent data theft. Especially if you get a SanDisk, it has it on there. There's a couple others. PNY has some.
It's something you have to enable.
It's when you first open up your hard or your thumb drive, there should be a little folder directory in there, and it'll have that application in there, and then you can do it from there.
So you do have to turn it on, kind of thing.
Right. Yes. You turn it on and then you turn it off. You can set your own key, so you don't necessarily have to have thumb screw. This is back before a lot of USB drive companies were actually putting it on there. But you can download it, and basically, when you pull it out, you can even set it to where when you pull it out, it will automatically written it or blocked it. So, or you can do it to disable the write to the USB, so that it doesn't really matter what people try to do. And for example, it's right here, this little icon. Right now, it's enabled. Make it read only. You can't write to it. But really, what good does that do you? If I can read your data, what was the point? So is thumb screw really a good utility?
Keep you from getting accidental viruses or something, like if you need to transfer your deal around. Like I didn't want to take my flash drive I needed to print something, so I had to go to like Kinko's or something, and it's like, okay, what all has been in this?
Exactly.
So
I mean,
it's for small applications like that, it's handy.
But then you have the ability to control. Do I want people to write to this? Is it that I'm really hiding anything?
No.
Or, if you're trying to hide something, don't put it on a flash drive. You'll lose them too quickly. So as you know, I created you the VMs. They're all up this morning, so if you log into vSphere, then you will have them up there. Now, I didn't set the drive name to your last name like I did in other classes, because I just finished it about 15 minutes ago. But everyone has permissions that are online and in class, so that y'all can go in there. I would highly encourage you to start using all your hands-on projects through here, because I did not put any malware or anti-malware or antivirus program on this image for that specific reason. And if it crashes vSphere, Ken will be mad at me, not you. The only thing I can tell you is do not do anything that will enable DHCP. No DHCP and no DNS, because it will screw with vCenter.
So just follow the hands-on projects and don't screw around with anything else.
Exactly.
Okay. Easy enough.
Is there any questions on that? I mean, this is basically what we did with Thumbscrew. Now, let's take a look here. And let's go to Microsoft. Go to TechNet. Into the sysinternals. Did I spell that right? No. Internals. Security. Root kit. Veeler. Alright, just take me to sysinternals. Alright, now that I'm on sysinternals, let me go down here to the rootkit revealer. Just download it here. They changed the link on it, that's why. let it uncompress. Let me go ahead and install it.
Yeah, my any malware or whatever wouldn't let me get past that point.
That's one right there.
I can't see what that's at.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to see.
That's the that was the Microsoft Security Client. Ken had it on here and I didn't realize it. Let me go to Control Panel real quick. Where's my
Oh, and
programs
the
and feature?
Malwarebytes, apparently you can't turn it off unless you buy the full version. Then you can have control and turn it off.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
You can uninstall it. Now let's see here. So first things first, uninstall System Center in the VM, not on your regular computer.
Uninstall systems.
On the VM. Okay. Let's do it this way then. Hmm. That's interesting that it does not want to work today.
You can't scale without having that down.
Yeah, you have to download it. Well, I see that it doesn't like it very well. So, what did y'all get out of, did any of you get it to work on your machine? I did it at home, but
So what it scans is it scanning the
it scans your entire drive.
Okay.
And if there's any scripts that are part of rootkits that are hiding in the background processes that you don't see, don't understand, it'll identify them for you so that you can shut them down or do whatever you want to with them.
If they got too high in the registry, could a rootkit be there?
Oh, it scans everything. So that's what rootkit does. Let's see here. But y'all can go around and play around on your VMs now. Alright. Just wanted to show you that I have it up and going so you can go play around with it.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
One more time for the hands-on projects. Would you just want like a screenshot of
You can give me just a little paragraph, or you can give me a screenshot, something to show that you did it. No,
That's what I did.
Me too.
I didn't get an email from you, Matthew.
I meant last time. More or less. I just.
How many of you did the virus questions? Ha 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 ha. The review questions. Do what?
We're supposed to do the review questions? Wait a second.
We were supposed to do the hands-on projects. We were supposed to do review questions too.
Did you check your syllabus?
That requires looking at a syllabus.
It's for just extra practice.
All assignments will be governed by the instructions posted on D12.
Are we supposed to do them but not turn them in? Because in the Dropbox, it's only the hops. You have that look on your face. What are you up to?
He's going to fail us all.
Is it because that's what the quiz is?
No.
Chapter quiz hands-on projects. Yeah, send them out on there. You're just messing with us to see if we looked at it.
3 weeks into the semester and you hadn't looked at your syllabus.
Actually, mine does have a check mark on it 'cause I looked at it.
I looked at it, I just forgot.
Uh-huh. You're supposed to keep up in my class, right? Right, Carol? All right. I'm going to be very nice.
Then why do you look so ornery?
I don't trust
Yeah.
you to say that at all.
Sounds like the
Ominous.
opposite of what you're
You're
gonna
gonna
do.
hate me in a minute. Okay, that I can deal with.
Now you make it sound like you're not nice most of the time.
Ooh, that was a good response. Okay, how are you gonna be nice?
No more chapter quizzes or unit tests for the semester.
Why?
Yeah, why?
What's gonna replace that, those percentages?
I'm giving them to you.
Cool, thank you. Just say thank you and shut up.
No, I need to know the parameters of this deal.
That was it.
It wasn't a deal, it was a gift.
I did it to one class. I'm going to do it to all my classes.
Yeah.
I'm going to change something in every class. Just because I have over 200 things I need to grade right now and I don't want to grade anymore.
Stressed.
No, I would highly encourage you to go and take the quizzes, but I'm going to end up giving you hundreds on all of them. The reason being I want you to take the quizzes anyway is so that that's going to be your study guide for your midterm and your final. Because those are the exact questions you can get. It's out of the same random area of questions. However, you're going to get hundreds on them.
But it'll still show us like what we got wrong and everything?
Yes.
Okay, good deal.
I set it up to do that now. In one class. I don't remember which class it was that I set up to so you could go back and look at the questions. I plan on getting them all done. Yes, Aaron, I know you have a question. I'll get to you in just a second. In the unit test are basically for every 2 chapters, and then you would have a unit test, right?
Mhm.
Well, basically it's the same questions that you would have from your chapter quizzes. So I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt. Because I still want you to take your midterm and your final. But if you go over them, you'll be more prepared for your midterm and final. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Don't want you to have to overkill yourself with homework in my class.
If only everybody thought as you did.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying. My classes are focused on learning. They're not focused on did you complete this assignment? I don't have time to be your mom or dad and hold your hand and make sure you complete every assignment in my class. I could be a prick and just make y'all do everything, but I decided not to. So, with that being said, no chapter quiz, no unit test for the rest of the semester. However, I'd highly encourage you to go through it because it'll also help me know which ones everyone missed. And then I can come back and refocus on those so that everyone better understands that topic. Does that make sense?
Any chance you'll open any of them early?
I might go back and open them all early.
Thank you.
If you email me and remind me. And what does she do? She goes right to the keyboard and mouse.
I'll forget in 2 seconds.
So, with that being said, let's do a little bit of a review today. And I'm going to let y'all go a little bit early. Matthew, a blank requires a user to transport it from one computer to another.
Virus.
Yep.
Yes!
You have to have the medium for a virus, right? Tracy, each of the following is an action that a virus can take except transport itself through the network to another device, cause a computer to crash, erase files from a hard drive, make multiple copies of itself, and consume all the free space on the hard drive.
The first time.
The first one. Very good. Aaron, each of the following is a different type of computer virus except a program, a macro, remote, or boot.
Program.
Nope.
Remote.
Remote.
What was the question again?
I couldn't decide between.
Is number 3.
Is number 3.
Following is a different type of computer virus?
You looking in your book? Number 4.
Oh, I have the page numbers for where
Lee downloads a program that prints coupons, but in the background silently collects her passwords. Lee has downloaded a
Trojan.
Trojan. How many of y'all have downloaded the coupon.com thing in the background or the coupon toolbar or whatever? It does that. Daphne, to completely remove a rootkit from the computer, you should... What?
D.
D. Reformat the hard drive and reinstall the operating system. Erase and reinstall all the files in the Windows folder. Well, that would make you have to reinstall the operating system, wouldn't it? But you also need to reformat the hard drive to make sure you get rid of all the pointers. Sean, each of the following could be a logic bomb except what?
B? I don't know.
Which one?
B? I don't know.
Did you say Charlie or Delta?
D?
Charlie or Delta?
D.
He's
He's
saying
saying
Oh, D. Oh, okay. I couldn't hear because the monitor's in my way.
He's saying D.
Oh, it's because I have.
No, it's C. Send spam email to all users.
I wasn't sure because like I was reading them all. I don't know.
So you can actually set it if something is deleted?
Mm-hmm.
Any kind of action.
Any action. It has to is looking for a specific event or time or an occurrence. Basically, it's built on an if-then statement.
Yeah.
If this action occurs,
Then do that.
then do this.
Wow.
Carol, number 7. A blank is an image spam that is divided into multiple images. In each piece of the message is divided and then layered to create a complete and legible message. GIF layering, very good. Brandon, blank is a general term used for describing software that gathers information without users' consent. Number 8.
Mostly spyware.
Spyware. Good job. Matthew Bailey. Each of the following is true regarding a keylogger except
Keyboard changer, server, assume it would be B.
That is correct.
Remember the picture of A, that's the thing that you plug into the thing.
Tracy, the preferred method of bot headers for command
Not
in
A,
zombies
started A.
is to C. HTTP. It started at IRCs,
Yeah,
didn't it?
started on
Remember that from Monday? Aaron, which of the social engineering technique that uses flattery on victims?
I don't have the questions. Or the answers.
Conformity, friendliness, fear, ingratiation.
Ingratiation.
Ingratiation. All right. Miss Kristen, blank sends phishing messages only to wealthy individuals.
Target vision?
No,
Spirit vision?
no. Whaling. Remember whaling. Big fish, big money,
It's not a fish.
fishing attack. They go to the wells instead. No, that's really the way I remember it. All right, Daphne. Blank is an unsolicited instant message.
C? No, you told us it's D.
It is D. It's
I remember
spim.
I've never heard that word before.
Spam.
Except with an I-M in it.
Yeah.
Spam is for, I forget what the A stands for, but spam is for the instant messaging. AM is for regular mail or regular email. Sean, number 14. Erin pretends to be a manager from another city and calls Nick to trick him into giving her password. What social engineering attack has Erin performed?
C?
C. Impersonation. Brandon, how can an attacker use a hoax?
I'm gonna go with A.
A is correct. A hoax can convince a user that bad Trojan is circulating that he or she should change their security settings. Carol, which of the following is an item, not an item, that could be retrieved through dumpster diving that would provide useful information? D, books. I don't necessarily agree.
How does a book not have, well,
Okay,
I mean,
you throw out your library. I know what you like to read.
yeah. I mean, no,
How can I attack you?
I was trying to figure out
What?
what wouldn't be useful. I go, well, okay.
The least useful would be books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, it's still useful.
It is still is not an item that could be retrieved through dumpster diving that would provide useful information. See, it's a poorly worded question. If you said food, okay, then that would be a dead giveaway, right? Not necessarily. Some people throw them away.
I've seen it appear.
I throw books away. But of course, there's no useful information in it because by the time I throw it away, it's 7 years outdated. And we haven't used it in 6 years in class. So the information.
Still show that you sounds like it would be a technical skills sort of book, computer skills, so they would still be able to glean that from you.
Burn it.
Well, they can have that for all I care because by the time I just now got rid of ME stuff. So
It's not a secret that you're into
yeah,
CIT.
if it says Prof Stokely on it and throws it out and it's a computer book, well, that kind of tells you that I'm a professor in the CIT field.
But
Hey, I see you on the YouTubes. Not YouTubes.
if they didn't know you, I
internets.
guess, that would be useful.
Are you sure?
Look depressed.
I look depressed.
No. Look depressed. I want to see if this is you.
Makes it really depressed. That's, I don't know what you call
Disappointed.
that.
Are you dead?
Which one? Which picture?
Well, there's a gravestone.
Gassy maybe?
I don't know.
You'd have to show me the picture for me to even tell.
Ah.
Matthew,
Ah.
you want me to kick you out of class?
No.
Yes, Aaron.
Is it set to where we can still only take them once? Like, can you make it where we
Yeah, I can increase the
That's what it is. You look bored.
which picture? I don't know.
Yeah, that is kinda, looks like.
Oh, that was actually not for when I took that picture. I was sitting at my desk. I was setting my mom's Skype up for her via Log Me In, and I do. It said, "Well, you have to take a picture." I'm like, "Yeah, whatever."
But why'd you have to upload it to the internet?
It automatically did it. Skype did it.
Oh, nice.
So that when my dad does it,
That one?
that one was actually at my best friend's wedding, or one of my
You look
good
dressed
friends.
up.
Yeah, I was in a tux. You just like going and looking at all my pictures now, right?
You brought it up.
Yeah.
I was curious. Especially if we're getting stories on all of it.
I have no problem with it. I don't have anything to hide.
Everybody is
We're
saying that.
using social engineering techniques on you.
Okay. I've been at a wedding, and I set my mom up on Skype.
But that way it's actually.
You still don't know anything about me. Yes, Brandon.
I know you have a mom.
Did you? Well, yeah. I would hope I'd have a mom, right? I'd hope I'd have a dad too. I mean, otherwise I wouldn't be in existence. Blank is a following an authorized person through a secure door. It's what Aaron does with Kristen every day.
What?
Tailgating.
Tailgating. I'm picking at you. You open the door for her, you let her in, then you follow her through. I was calling you a gentleman. Come on. See? So you're tailgating her. You're following her through.
Which does sound a little bit stalkerish.
Exactly. When guys follow women, what do you expect? I mean, and that could be taken that way too, right?
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, Kristen. I didn't mean say that he was stalkerish, but he may be. I don't know. Each of the following is a reason adware is scorned except A. It displays the attacker's programming skills. An attacker who controls multiple zombies in a botnet is known as a bot herder. Observing someone entering a keypad or key code from a distance is known as shoulder surfing. I kind of did that at Lowe's last week, remember? I was telling you all about that on Monday. Except it's kind of hard to shoulder surf when he 1, 2,
Yeah,
3,
that's listening.
4 pound. I mean, what good does that really do me?
I'm hoping to go today to try that out.
I hope they changed it.
You know they didn't.
I know they didn't, but I hope for their.
It's the same in every store. That would be fun.
I wouldn't be the one want to be the one to get caught doing it.
Testing it or not reprogramming?
No, reprogramming now, that would be the fun one.
I mean, as an employee, but that would be fun too.
I can't get this stupid thing to work.
Oh, here, let me show you.
Hey, I bet you remember the guy from Intelligence, have y'all seen that show yet?
Yes.
Intelligence?
No.
Sawyer.
Basically has a chip that was implanted. It's a CIA operation where the guy is attached to the grid, the information grid. He can get all the digital evidence for everything, render it, and come up with solutions. Kind of a neat little storyline. Now that'd be kind of cool. You just come and say, no, I work for the government and the CIA, and this actually happened, and I'm Gabriel, which is the character's name. And I bet your code got reset. Let me see. Okay. It's 9876 instead of 1234. Don't you just hate it when people do that?
Mess with you.
Instead of 1234, I'd put 2345. Just move it. Do the shift key. Just up it one more time. All right. How many of you read chapter 3?
Not yet.
Not yet. Jiminy Christmas.
I got behind.
This isn't behind me. I'm supposed to have it ready yet.
It's behind for me. I have a bunch of other classes.
I'm the instructor. When I say we're going to get on this, we're going to get on this. So, are y'all all happy with what my decision was for the rest of this semester?
Yes, thank you.
Sure, yeah.
And I'm not doing that to get myself in trouble to get y'all freebies, but I just thought more and more about just not doing things.
But we still have to
So-
study 'em, it's just less busy work.
Yeah, I don't like busy work anyway. This makes me busy. Let's see here. Oh, hands-on projects. Don't turn them in anymore. Just do them through the VM.
Take a snapshot or?
No, when you install it in the VM, I'll know that you did it.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
So you're actually going to get the hands-on, but you're not going to have to write a report or anything like that.
Thank you.
When you say do that here, do you mean the computer lab or?
vSphere.
It doesn't matter.
You-
Sure, you can
You can do it at home.
Oh, sweet. Wait, what?
vSphere.
We can get on vSphere from.
Yes.
Just tell
I'm
him.
pretty sure I can do it.
He showed you. Oh no, that was.
No, we don't. No, there's the mobile access has an error and no one knows how to fix it yet.
I was about to look.
Yeah, it won't work. You could log in, but you're not gonna be able to do anything. You can't do it from the web either because the console won't open. That I need to ask Ken about that.
You had a thing in scripting that you said the website to go get vSphere for at home.
Yes, it's my.rose.edu/faculty/kdewey, and it's on his page.
So if I'm doing the chapter 2 hands-on projects, can I just not turn?
Just don't turn them in. Just do them through the VM. I'll extend it a week for y'all, since I just got it set up today.
This hop?
Yes, Hop 2. Because I want you to go play with it. And if you can't get the rootkit, go find another rootkit to install.
There was a new one that I think it was like an easy one that it was in with a bunch of other Microsoft. I think is there a new one or something?
It may be, but just go in there and take a look and see. Is there any questions? Have I thoroughly confused y'all for the semester?
Yes.
Matthew, it's easy to...
Matthew's confused anyway.
I can't say anything.
Although I am wondering why chapter 8 is before chapter 7 in the quizzes.
Well, the reason being is I just didn't reorder it. When I did the quiz, I set it up as the wrong type. I did it as a select box instead of a numeric grade. And so when I added it at the end, or after it, and got them switched. I deleted, after I did 8, I realized 7 was the wrong type, so I deleted it and went and added it after 8. So you went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 7, 9, and everything else.
You have the time of 8 during spring break.
I know.
That's not nice. Of course, I guess we don't have to do it when we want to now, but still.
I may, just for that, I may just not let you get him early.
Oh, come on, man. I sent you the email and everything.
Just because you sent me the email doesn't mean I'm going to do it anyway.
I'm going to study ahead and get that cert so I can be done with the class. Easy A. Easy-ish. A.
I doubt it. All right. Let's see here. What else do I want to... We're going to talk a little bit more on Monday about the different types of exploits, application attacks, network attacks, what kind of attacks are used, such as injection attacks, zero-day attacks, to know the difference between the two.
What was the first one?
SQL injection attacks, or injection attacks.
Oh.
Yeah, that's like when you can, like if there's a form or something online, you can know how to fill it out the right way that it screws the whole thing up.
All you have to do is put a select in there, or put a apostrophe in there, and then start writing your select statement, and then you're in.
Yeah.
If that field is not validated, if that field is a validated field, it won't work.
Right. But a lot of people don't.
Right. I validate every field that I create on a web form intentionally, so that you can't inject anything.
So SQL injections can only be used on
Non-validated.
websites that have forms for people to fill out.
Well, you can do it on sites that are not as commonly done on web forms.
But it's like not something you could do to, break into if you're screwing with your friend, break into your friend's computer or something, because they probably won't have a form up for somebody to fill out.
If they have a login form for their private side of their internal website, you can do it.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Especially if they're running IIS and they forget to remove anonymous access. That's always a fun one.
You'll show us later what you mean by all this, right?
Maybe. There's a lot of fun stuff that we can get to. What is the difference between a client-side attack versus a server-side attack? What is a buffer overflow? How do they work? What about ARP poisoning?
ARP poisoning? Is that like Stego or something?
ARP poisoning. You know what ARP is, right? The address resolution protocol that...
There's an art.
No. I'm not referring to our dean, no. ARP is in the protocol. Do y'all know what ARP poisoning is, right? No one?
Yeah.
All it basically does is you have an attack that attacks the ARP table, which takes your MAC address to an IP address. And it changes things around. Basically, it's your internal routing table, your local routing tables on your machines. They're mean attacks. If you really want to screw with someone, just go to the host file and change star.star.star.star to go to one website, and they can only go to that one website.
You'll show us that too, right? Because these are important tools, and it's, concept is one thing, but seeing it applied is something entirely different.
Oh yeah, star.star.star.store. That means when it's looking for any IP address, then it will automatically go to this one website. It's helpful when you go to Target or something, you have the gift registry site that pops up and it's full screen automatically. That's all they do. The host file will only allow you to go to that one site. Now, if you're smart, you go in there and you delete the host file information out of there, and then or comment out that line, save it, and then you can go to any website you want.
Have you ever heard of shock sites? Shock sites? That'd be a bad thing to do to someone's network.
Oh, there's a lot of things I can do to people's network. But, you just have to take things one day at a time, right? No? Why not?
Because some people learn faster than others.
So moment by moment?
Concept by concept.
That would be semester by semester for you, Tracy.
Hey. Just in some things.
Is there any questions on what we've covered today? I know, Kristen, you're just so anxious to get out of here, aren't you?
I have to take a test. I have time now, so.
Oh, I see. You want to skip my class to go take a test. Well, let's see here.
Skip, you're letting us out early.
I said a little early. I didn't say a lot early. No, I want y'all to be prepared for Chapter 3. And in preparation for Chapter 3, I'm going to challenge you. I challenged my wireless students last night. Now, once I get permission from Mr. Primo, I'm going to hide a wireless device on campus.
Uh-oh.
It will be on, it will be locked down, and it will be hidden. I will be the only one to know where it's at. I will give him the MAC address because I don't want him to, or his network to take mine down. But I will give y'all a riddle. And you figure out the riddle, that takes you to the next step. I'll give you the next clue. After 5 clues, you should know exactly where it's at. And if you can bring me the device, then I'll reset the MAC address and give you an A in the class.
So that's for wireless and this class?
Yeah. It's a challenge.
Wait, so we're up against the wireless class as well?
No, you're up against each other.
Yeah, but
For the first one that brings it to me gets an A in the class.
And then you rehide it for somebody else to play?
Yeah, then I change the MAC address, tell John the new MAC address, and put it right back where I had it.
So we could all.
Well, actually, yeah, I'll put it in one other. one other area, and then I'll add another riddle. So the first one that gets the riddles. So if I say my favorite drink is a venti white chocolate mocha, where do you think it's at?
Wait, the Girl Scout cookie store
Maybe.
where they
And
sell
as I told you,
coffee.
it may be on or off campus.
It's at his house. No, it's at Arlene's house because Ken knows where she lives.
I know where she lives too.
Everybody knows where
You
our
took
lead is.
forensics
Ken
class?
displays it for everybody.
He posts that.
But the thing about it, Ken doesn't know where I live yet. He knows where I'm going to be moving to.
He knows what it looks
I bet he
like.
does know where you live. He has access to that stuff.
Well, he does because it's in my. I'm in his class and he has 2 of it. But that's if he ever puts it out there.
Yeah.
Which I would like him to see him try to do that. Because then he'll have the wrath of my legal expertise.
Different class.
I don't really want to see you two in a battle.
He would lose.
Ooh,
He's too lazy.
that sounds like a gauntlet being thrown there.
30 years in prison. He'd lose.
Oh, well, he don't want to do anything illegal much.
Exactly. All it takes is that one time. And I bite you.
What's the start date? Oh, you said as soon as you get.
As soon as,
permission.
yeah, I got to get permission first.
Okay.
But I'll let y'all know when it is, and then I'll have it hidden out there. I want to do it when it's a little bit warmer and not so
Thank
wet,
you.
because I don't want.
Frostbite.
Well, I could care less about you getting frostbite. It's
You
more.
do something
I
too.
no, I just don't want my equipment damaged. I care more about my equipment than I do you.
Hey, equipment heals. He's got a point. Or
It
equipment
was right
doesn't heal.
earlier.
We do.
He's not as nice as he says he is.
What?
Oh, because he was saying he's gonna be really nice. So you're
Okay,
not nice.
so unit tests are back on. Quizzes are back on. Thanks, Sean.
Hey.
No, I want you to focus on learning in my class. And the best way to learn is not to have to do busy work, right? Now, it's there for you to do, and if you want to do it, to learn. Which I'd highly recommend, because those are going to be the questions you'll see on your midterm and your final exam. Like I said, you show up and do what I ask you to do, you'll make an A or B in my class, right? Is there any other questions, items, concerns, grabs, someone's complaints? Hop 3 will be due next week, not Saturday. I'll give you 2, 3, and 4 will be due in a week from Saturday.
Is Hop 3 currently scheduled for this Saturday?
Mhm.
I thought we were doing 1 chapter a week. So this will be the week 2 chapter. Chapter 2 week.
We're in week 3. My lecture's behind when hops are due. That's why I'm changing it around. I want to cover it before you do the hop, right?
Right.
It'd be kind of nice, right? I want to make sure that everything is due not this Saturday, but following Saturday. Cool deal? As one of my coworkers, former coworkers used to say, get frosty.